Better group.
Start wearing a hat. My bald head every time in these commission meetings.
Surprisingly, I can see some through all
Mario over here, all nice hair. I'm shining. Right. All right, so we want to call the meeting to order. The chairman or
Well,
vice chair?
Are you?
I am not.
Oh, Valerie's there.
Yeah,
Oh,
Valerie's
isn't
the
she?
vice chair.
Yeah, she's the vice chair. Okay. All right. I guess I'll stand in their stead then, if that's
Thank you,
okay.
sir.
Okay, we will call our CRC meeting to order. I do have the roll call here. So,
So Anthony Harris, Valerie Cruz, Blake Harris,
Here.
Daryl Murphy,
here.
Taylor Supton,
Here.
Greg Peugeot,
Here.
Alexandria Esposito,
Here.
and Daniel Williams. All right, on the agenda, we have got a motion to approve the minutes from December 8th.
Okay. Hopefully we've had a chance to review those minutes.
Oh, yeah, we had them typed up. I can have them sent out, and we can approve them the next meeting. I'm sorry, I
Right,
didn't send
yeah.
them out. She got them to me.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll postpone the approval of the minutes to our next CRC meeting. So we'll just kind of get those sent out to everyone.
I apologize.
Okay? That's okay. We'll just go back into the next
Next
order.
item?
Resignation of Mr. Daniel Williams. I guess that's been turned in. That's my first time hearing of that.
Yes.
Mr. Williams is not going to be with us any longer.
That is correct. He had reached out earlier in the month to let us know that he had a conflict with his apprenticeship program, that the schedule was from 4:30 to 7:30, so he was not going to be able to make it. And so he thought it prudent to resign from the commission and make the seat available to someone who could
Okay.
attend the meetings.
Okay. Do we need to accept that resignation, or it just basically it just stands as presented to the?
I think
body.
it stands as presented.
Okay.
Yes.
All righty.
And on the agenda for Monday's commission meeting will be the nomination for Ms. Kirsten Pugh, the Marketing Communication Specialist for Sandusky City Schools. And so she has accepted that nomination, so it'll be made at the next commission meeting.
Okay. And that is to fill Mr. Williams' seat.
That is correct.
Okay. All righty.
In terms of the election of officers,
Can we postpone that till the other members are seated?
yes, because the
Order.
chair and the co-chair, so they have to postpone that until the meeting in June.
Okay.
Okay,
All righty. So we'll take the election of officers in June.
yes.
Do we have a date for that meeting already? Is that something we're going to come up with, or is it on the
Yes,
calendar?
that date for that meeting is June, let me get to my calendar.
June 23rd.
23rd. Thank you,
23rd,
Ms.
okay.
Esposito.
June 23rd. Okay, thank you.
And then as the next item is the Bgsu Business Symposium. So in conjunction with MBET Rise and Bgsu Firelands, there's a Bgsu Business Symposium, What's Your Impact? It's going to be held on April 8th at the Cedar Point Center at Bgsu Firelands. And the keynote speaker is Ms. Ariane Kilpatrick, of the CEO of the AKA team. She is president and CEO of a construction firm in Cuyahoga County, and coming to speak about not only her journey and story, but also the impact that businesses can make in not only in making money, but also in their communities as well. And there'll be other breakout sessions after a panel discussion in terms of dealing with social media, and then also training and developing your talent within your organization. So it will be $15 registration, and the event will run from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yes. And if you would, Marcus, I'd also just like to take this opportunity to give a shout out to our transportation to the City of Sandusky Transportation as they look to provide rides to the BPA students at Sandusky High School to make sure that they could get to and from this event. So I thought that was definitely worth noting.
And there will be a donation forthcoming at the commission meeting to help with the tickets and transportation to that. So that was something that's also on the schedule. And I can email to you all the flyer and the link to the registration for the event so you can circulate it amongst your networks. And it looks to be a great engaging event and another awesome thing that the MBEC community is doing here through ECADEC.
Okay, great. Yeah, definitely. I was hoping you would send that out to us so we can get that to some other people in the community as well.
Will do.
Okay.
Will do. Now, in terms of the next agenda item, discussion on 2020 goals and actions, as I looked at the ordinance governing this body and its spirit in bringing issues from the community to officials within the city, I want to see if we can kind of expound upon that. And we are nearing the end of our strategic plan for our DEI efforts here within the city, and we're looking to conduct some community conversations. It was going to, first one would be scheduled in the summer, fall, and then one in the winter. And we want to continue this dialogue with the city to be able to get outside of City Hall, to be able to go to locations and have opportunities to meet. And so as we schedule these meetings, I will definitely forward this information to you all if you would like to attend to help facilitate the conversations or participate them as well. And we'll be dealing with issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion within the greater community as we look to chart our own path internally. We're also want to make sure that we keep our eye on things outside of just the four walls of City Hall. So that will be coming along as part of our goals. But as city employees, definitely we would love to hear that input and that, I guess, that ear to the street and into the community in areas where we may not have visibility and or a presence in to help us better serve the residents, because in the end, we are servants of the people.
That's true. I think it's important also that when we have those meetings with the different residents, that we stress the importance of this committee, because I think a lot of times, a lot of our citizens don't even know that this committee exists, and that if they have different questions that they would like to bring up to this committee, maybe to the chief and to the fire chief as well, that they should come here and make those either complaints or praises or whatever it might be known. So I think we need to let the community know, and I know we talked about with Chairman Harris before that we need to do a better job of letting the residents of Sandusky know that the CRC committee exists and what we're here for, and that they have an ear that we will listen to them, because there's always two sides to every story. And we want to hear what their complaints or their praises might be. So I think it's important that we get the word out to our community, because I don't think a lot of people even know that we come here and we meet here. And we would like to see people from the city at this meeting as well, because it is open to the public and they should be here. So I think we need to do a better job of communicating that.
I agree. And, just my quick glance at, social media and things of that nature, it seems that there's a lot of things that people have to say, but, making sure that they have the right venue in order to make sure their voices are heard, because you can scream out all you want into the ether of the social media ecosystem, but if you cannot bring those concerns to your city leaders or connect with individuals who have that opportunity to bring those concerns to us, we can't really address them or really know what they are, whether it's separate fact from rumor. So we definitely want to look to actionalize this committee and really increase the profile so people know that there is this avenue that they can bring their issues and concerns to, yes, outside of just the Monday commission meetings twice a month.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I commend you for doing the meetings again, because I attended at least one of the ice cream socials last year. And there were issues brought up that were actually addressed that the city didn't know about. And then I saw them get addressed in the neighborhood that I know probably wouldn't have gotten addressed if it wasn't for was not for the ice cream social. So I think these meetings would be very productive in hearing the things that everyday residents want to know that you don't know that they want. So, good job.
Thank you. And in terms of other goals and actions for the commission, when we have any community celebrations or highlighting different aspects of city employees and community members, we would like to maybe amplify some of those messages with the members of this body in order to humanize a lot of what is seen as an institution of government. And this institution, while designed to help govern and serve the citizens of Sandusky, is made up of like real human beings. And we want to make sure that those stories are heard and that they are amplified. So will be features and featurettes of employees and citizen servants and trying to tell those stories. So hopefully we can figure out a way that we can bring it alive and actually tell your stories as well, right? So as we're looking to tell the stories of employees, we want to try to reach out and tell the stories of the individuals that are helping to serve, volunteering their time to serve as liaisons between the public and the city. So look for some of that on the horizon as I work with Tom, our communication managers, to reach out and try to connect with you all. And I'd like to thank Ms. Esposito and Chairman Harris and Mr. Murphy, who have participated in our DEI external key stakeholder interviews. We appreciate your input in helping us build our strategic plan.
You're welcome.
Is there any old business that we need to attend to?
Anyone have anything?
Well, as far as new business, I would like to welcome Mr. Bghu to this body.
Welcome.
Greg and I went to high school. He was my captain of the track team a couple years, and I'm excited to be able to connect with him again and work in this capacity. So, welcome to the Community Relations Commission, Mr. Bghu.
Thanks, Marcus. Good to be here. Good group.
Excellent. All right, so do we have anything else that we need to address, or any other issues that need to be brought to the forefront that we need to hear about?
So not so much issues, but I guess just to maybe perhaps recap an event that MBET, the Minority Business Empowerment Team, back on Friday, February 25th, we actually we were the host of our first, our inaugural Black Pioneer event in honor of Black History Month at venue 634, right there on the corner of Columbus Ave and East Monroe. It was that night that we had the pleasure of honoring three local entrepreneurs, not only for their for their business contributions, but also their contributions in and throughout the community. So those that were highlighted was Bridget Sanders, or Bridget Bureau is now her married name, the owner of Lena Browse. Next up was Johnny Reed over at CR Exchange, and Philip Parker Sr. over at Phil P's Unisex Salon right here on Tiffin Ave. So it was certainly a great event. I think we had about approximately 55 attendees, if my numbers are right. And in addition to that, I would just also like to thank many of the sponsors for that event, such as Once Upon a Child, I believe, Civista Bank, and many more. But this is certainly an event that we hope to continue for many years to come, as we look to highlight many Black business owners and those making great contributions to our community. So I thank everyone, just on behalf of MBET, for just being a part of that and making it truly a special evening. So thanks to all.
If I could just echo on that, I was in attendance for that event, and my hat goes out to the MBET coordinators and all the people on that team. It was just a great event, and I know all the businesses that were recognized, local entrepreneurs. I was just fortunate to be able to support all of them in their infancy here in the city of Sandusky, so that was special to me as well. But what I really just took about that event was just the makeup of the room. and it just showed me what Sandusky is really all about. I mean, just the diversity that was in the room, just how everybody was just mingling and getting along and celebrating those young entrepreneurs, and some of them were a little bit older. Phil's been around for a while now, but still doing a great job. But it just showed me that Sandusky is really on the right track. And I just can't say kudos enough to everybody in this room. The chief and the new chief of the fire department. Just doing a great job, and the commissioners as well. We're just really something special. I think if we just continue to go in this direction, we could be a beacon of hope, not only just for Sandusky, but the area counties, the state of Ohio, and even the nation. So I mean, everyone's doing a great job. That MBET, keep doing what you're doing. I mean, just right on the right track. So we're going forward, and we just got to keep that. And I definitely want to hear from the two chiefs and what's going on in their departments and anything that they would like to bring to us today. But just a great job to the MBET team, to Commissioner Harris, and just let your team know they're doing a great job, and keep it up.
Thank you.
Chiefs, anything to share?
Thanks for the kind words. We're doing pretty good. We're going through the hiring process. We have 5 positions available right now. We just completed our original appointment with the civil service. We've made 2 conditional job offers to our 2 reserves officers right now, and we have a couple other pretty strong candidates, and one here locally that's also a strong candidate that we're really excited about. And we got a couple more things to do, but we may be able to help him on his path too. So things are going well.
Chief, if I may ask, I'll be amiss if I didn't ask this. Do we have any minority candidates? Have anybody been applying?
We have a female who we're hiring full-time.
Okay.
We have a Hispanic male who we're hiring full-time.
Good.
And the local from the community is a lifelong Sandusky resident who's a minority, and he does need some additional training like the academy per se, but that's not something we couldn't help along. So
Okay, great.
We're in the process there.
Okay.
There are still some other things we have to do to make sure everything's gonna line up properly, but yeah.
Okay.
There's some opportunities there.
Okay, good, thank you. And just another question the resident asked me, do we ever reach out, like I know when we're in the recruitment stage, do we ever reach out to like the Noble? I think that's like a black police organization, is that correct? Or do we ever reach out to them?
We do.
We do,
We reach
okay.
out to the city of Cleveland.
Okay.
Went there to their academy. We've
Okay.
reached out to Toledo. We've been to their academy.
Okay,
We really recruited every avenue we possibly could, the last 2 lists. We got some very good candidates on this list. We were
Okay.
pretty impressed compared to
Okay.
our last one. So it's working.
Yes, sir.
And long answer, yes, we do.
okay, thank you.
And if I can piggyback on that, I think that there is an opportunity for not only myself, but other community members to kind of amplify the efforts in imparting upon residents the importance of service, and in that you can want to do something for your community, you can love your community, you can be Sandusky all day, but there's something else when you step up to serve your community. And I think some of our work in highlighting those stories and amplifying those stories maybe should help in that, and bringing that to life. The importance of it is for people from the community of Sandusky that know the community of Sandusky, that have been here, that they have the opportunity to serve and know the pathway as far as taking the civil service exam, and then going to the academy and being able to have that honor to serve your community. So it is definitely the efforts of the police department and HR in order to do that, but it takes kind of all of us to amplify that message, especially in these tumultuous times.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. Chief?
As far as the fire department goes, we gave a test in May, and we've hired 9 people off that list so far. There was 3 females, 1 Hispanic male. We did end up hiring 1 of the females and the Hispanic male. That's the extent of the minorities that were on the list. We had 42 people on the list, and there's only 2 more that we think we want to hire off that list. So we're probably going to end up hiring those 2 later on this year with retirements that are expected. After that, with only a 42-person list, and I know that's a lot more than Chief Oliver has on his, we're going to have to give another test, and normally those tests last 2 years.
Do you have openings available right now? You said-
We do not at the
Vacancies?
moment.
Okay.
We're filled to our staffing levels right now, but we have
Okay.
one retiree that's supposed to happen in June
Mm-hmm.
and one in September. So as far as recruitment goes, I don't really know what recruitment was done for this past test that was given.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there was any. I think they just gave the test. Our biggest issue as far as that goes is minorities taking the test period. We don't really have a whole lot.
So we had to do a better job pushing in that direction.
Yeah, and understanding the process, and knowing what it takes to take the test and pass the test. And if I'm not mistaken, the age restrictions that are for the police, where you have to be 21 and up, do not exist for fire. They can go in at 18.
Right, 18, yes.
Okay.
That's set by the state, 21, it's to get your commission.
So you have the opportunity for individuals
right out of high
even
school,
younger to build a
fire
career,
department.
a lifelong career here with the City of Sandusky and the fire department as well.
I should add, just to fill you guys all in, going back to his conversation about recruiting in the community, and I would love to hire everybody from the community if we could. Our CIOs, and not just our community impact officers, but all of our officers have spent substantial times this last year. They were coaching football. We've coached a wrestling program in the schools. Right now, they're starting the Explorer program again with the schools, and it's basically mentorship. Because that part between high school and 21 is where we lose everybody, because they're either going to college, which is great, or they're finding a trade and they're getting a skill, and then to get them back in and start all over again is the tough part. So we're hoping the Explorer part of it kind of reaches out to about 14 to 17, and then we'll have them in uniform, basically auxiliary, helping us at traffic and helping us at community events. So that's the next process. So we're continuously trying.
Yeah, and that's a good look for the community as well, getting the young people interested in law enforcement, or firefighting. So that's something that we need to work on. So
All the
that's good.
credit goes to our officers. I mean, there was 7 or 8 that stepped up for this Explorer program at the last meeting. So hopefully we get it kicked off.
Yeah. No, and I would just like to add, I mean, to your point, I think the way, one of the biggest ways that we can gauge interest from the minority community to become a local officer or a local firefighter is that, that familiarity piece, and that could be developed through programs such as that through the, community impact officers, and them taking interest in being a part of the rec programs. I mean, heck, I mean, a hypothetical situation could just simply be, you might be interacting with a 5-year-old, at one of these, spring or winter rec programs, and then that same 5-year-old, heck, 15 years later, because of that interaction, that positive interaction, could become, a future firefighter or woman or men and or police officer. So I think that's just one of the many things we can continue to do that hopefully, will, in the future, just, I guess, pay dividends and help us and that, that whole retention and keeping and inspiring young people to be a part of this community in a pretty big way. So
That's what it is. You don't really understand it until you hear somebody actually answer that in an interview question about why they wanted to get into law enforcement or be a firefighter, and they'll tell you about something that happened to them when they were 7 or 8 years old.
It's
That's
awesome.
And that's what you want to reach.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to get them. I will say, and I'll say this to anybody, we are the most diverse police department anywhere around.
That's awesome.
Anywhere around.
Yeah.
And I come from many other departments, so I know that. So
Oh, yeah.
we're going to do everything we can to keep that up, to represent our community.
Great. Thank you. Very important.
Yeah, and if we don't have anything else, I know that I gave a short presentation at our previous meeting about the Ddi Strategic Plan and where we are in that process. And so, part of the efforts of that work, we have kind of honed in on our mission and vision, and I wanted to have an opportunity to share that with this body right now. So as far as the DEI action team that exists within the City of Sandusky, our vision statement is that we are a diverse and inclusive organization. We treat each other equitably and with respect, creating an environment where no voices are silenced and all of us can thrive. And the mission of the DEI action team connects the City of Sandusky's employees to the diverse perspectives and lived experiences of its residents, vendors, and business community. The DEI Action Team makes diversity, equity, and inclusion integral to our organizational structure, policies, and program delivery. We identify and remove barriers, creating an environment where all people can find representation and solidarity. We recruit, retain, and develop a diverse, high-performing workforce reflecting the community we serve. And we create a best-in-class professional community providing opportunities for companies of all sizes. So that's just a small part of the result of the work that we've gone in as we start to, you can't chart a course of what you want to be if you don't have a vision, and if you don't have a mission to actually tell how you're going to get to that vision, you'll never get there. So this is just a small part of the reflection of the work that we've been able to do, and I just wanted to share some of that with you all because I know I gave you a little glimpse of the timeline of the strategic plan. And so we'll be looking to give a presentation to the commission of our full DEI strategic plan in May. And we are on course to do that. And we'll definitely share some of those findings with this group too when we reconvene, or at any time reach out.
Does that include the stakeholder interviews?
The stakeholder interviews are part of the data gathering process. And so as we aggregate that, it will be included in some of the data that we use to create the strategic plan and in part of the report, but not the interviews per se.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many people did you guys interview? I'm just curious.
From the external stakeholder interviews, we've interviewed 13 people.
Okay.
We have one more tomorrow that should round out that process. Not including internal staff, key stakeholders in our assessments. All right, so if all hearts and minds are clear, can we get a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All right, I guess we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.